If you want to get in on the chance to win some free silver, I'm actually giving it away right now on this channel. If you check out the video that's linked in the top comment as well as in the description, you'll actually see that I'm giving away the full coin set that the coin right there on the right is actually from, which is really over 5 ounces of silver because each coin is 1.3 ounces, giving away some silver jewelry, and I'll find some other stuff for second place. And if you're a content creator, I'm actually giving away an Alaskan silver proof set if you just shout out the channel. So if you want to get in on that, again, the video will give you a few more details, but maybe it's something I'm going to regret doing because, as many people like to say, silver is just around the corner from finally breaking out to its true value, finally beating the manipulation and hitting hundreds or even thousands of dollars an ounce like it should be trading at. And of course, if you've been into silver stacking for a long time, you've probably heard this for a long time as well. In fact, ever since I really started consuming content on YouTube about silver back in 2014, I really heard that message being preached to me. And I was a kid back then. I think I was 12 years old when I first started really getting into watching silver content and starting to make videos on this channel about it. So I definitely was someone that was buying into the hype. I love the idea that all I had to do was buy small amounts of silver because that's all I could really afford at the time. And then one day it was going to be worth this vast amount of money. To me, that just seemed absolutely incredible. And of course, something that I wanted to believe, as I think many other people do as well. But eventually I started to notice that silver's price really seemed to be following a cycle where at first the melt price might start to go up for a little bit. People start to actually get a bit excited about silver. They start talking about it, or maybe something happens that sends a few more people towards physical investments. They get scared out of the stock market, or especially more recently, maybe by the crypto markets that sometimes collapse. But whatever it may be that actually starts up the interest in silver, people will start coming out and talking about the fact that now is the time to get into silver. You want to buy now because soon the manipulation is finally coming to an end, or how silver will be realizing this price by the end of the year. The markets will not be able to take it anymore. All of this gets said, and then silver goes up like $5 at the most, and then nothing else happens. And what ultimately ends up coming from the whole situation is a lot of the people who bought in at the very highest price end up needing to wait months or even maybe a couple years to actually see silver even hit that price again, let alone actually increasing from that point. So obviously, that's not the untold truth of silver stacking, because I think a lot of people are able to see past the hype itself. But what I do want to talk about as the untold truth is, what would it actually take for silver to be able to break out of the manipulation as people seem to think is so near coming? Because what I believe, and here's the part where it's obviously just my thoughts, I'm not a financial expert by any means, but what I do believe it would take is a whole lot more than what people actually realize for the silver market to finally be able to trade freely and actually realize its true value. And to put it simply, I think it would take the collapse of fiat currencies themselves in order for this to actually happen. Because I just don't see how, in a world where silver isn't being valued for what it really is, that being real money, that it could ever break free of the manipulation at all. I feel like the very existence of fiat currencies, these intangible assets that are backed by nothing but a promise, being the things that we have to rely on in order to really exist in this world, at least in the first world, and beyond that, being the thing that still the majority of people continue to trust. Because take in mind, the average person is not as informed as the average silver stacker is. I think that people kind of miss out on the fact that a lot of average people are falling for literal crypto scams being pushed by people like Jake Paul. So that's kind of the caliber of intellect that we're dealing with from the average person. So you're not going to have a bunch of people even understanding that the thing that they're using all the time is completely valueless in the first place. But even if we all came together and realized that, we're still forced to use it. You can't go anywhere and make a purchase with silver. So I just feel like that this entire system of fiat currency is the thing that's manipulating silver. And if that's something you've realized as well, well, that's great. But then it leads me to the question, why are we even talking about silver being worth hundreds or thousands of dollars an ounce? Because why do we care how much fiat currency silver could be worth in the first place? It should be irrelevant. Silver should be worth an infinite amount of dollars because it's infinitely more valuable, because it is real money. And I just think that in a perfect world where silver is truly and utterly trading at fair market price and being valued not just for the utility it has in industry, but again for its greatest purpose as being real money, I think that the question would be not how many dollars you could fetch per ounce of silver, but how many goods and services could be garnered in your world per ounce of silver that you own, or at the very least, what is going to be the tie-in to the currency that your nation uses directly to silver. But with that being said, again, those are just my thoughts on it. And I think that, I guess if you want to put it simply, the hidden truth is that I don't think silver will ever be worth thousands of dollars an ounce, because I don't think that in a world where fiat currency exists and maintains any real value, that silver is going to break free of the manipulation. So I think the idea of fiat currency and silver coexisting and you becoming a rich person because of the fact that you held on to silver in a world of fiat, I don't think that that is ever going to be realistic. And I think that we should be looking at silver as a ultimately, if in a world of fiat continuing to exist, I think we should be looking at it as just a hedge against the inflation on that fiat, a way through good dollar cost averaging to maintain your wealth and maybe even build a bit upon it. But if you're going to talk about silver being, actually worth what it should be worth, I don't think you should be expecting to really live in a world where fiat currency continues to maintain the value that it does. But again, that's obviously just my thoughts. I'm far from a financial expert, just a guy who's kind of been interested in silver for a while now. So I am more than happy to hear your own thoughts in the comments below. But if you did actually enjoy my take on this, please consider subscribing to the channel. I really want to start getting into making content at least 3 or 4 times a week for you guys, if not daily. Kind of depends on what you guys respond to the videos with, and just overall how much inspiration I'm really able to find for videos. But with that all being said, that is truly it for this one now. Peace.